Little right hand the whole fight. How many hooks did he get?
Take over!
You know, there's rumors right now, and they're doing well as far as announcements and everything. So September 12th, right? So you got, you know, Ryan Garcia versus Conor Benn. That's the next one. We'll see what happens there. We'll watch. You know, obviously, you know, Keith Connerly also manages Conor Benn. So if Conor wins, it's a great fight to take across the pond. You know, and I'm rooting for it anyway. You know, I think I'd rather wait for Devin at the end. And the only reason why is to reclaim the whole situation with undisputed, not undisputed, French fries, WBC belt, and not. So I think that for everybody, it's well-deserved and earned. So we'll see what Devin does on that end. But, yeah, so it'll either be Liam Paro next or the winner out of Ryan Garcia and Conor Benn.
The dude that's supposed to be the best, one of the best boxers, he's an Olympian and all this stuff, you know? I clearly outboxed him. I cut him. I hurt him multiple times. I mean, it's clear as day. I deserve a rematch. And honestly, that decision was, you know, I mean, self-explanatory, man. It's not.
Right, at least from where we were sitting.
Red where? Right there. That's called blood.
I see blood on your leg too. When you caught him,
I don't see anything red.
No, I'm saying blood on your leg. Probably Teal's blood.
Yeah, for sure, Teal's blood, but I don't see anything red on my own side. So don't start that initiative.
We're right here with Coward Sports for Fight Up TV. Right here with Gary Antoine Russell. Man, big fight this weekend. Just want to get your take first. Stylistically, what does Rolly have to do to win, and vice versa? What does Teal have to do to beat Rolly?
Me personally, my insight on that is honestly, if you have a game plan and you cross all your T's and dot all your I's with your game plan, 9 times out of 10 you're gonna come out victorious. You know what I mean? It's not until your opponent or yourself deviate when things start going the way you don't want it to go. But I feel like Rolly Romero, he got the tools to win. You know, he's strong. A lot of people underestimate his IQ in the ring. And he got ample hand speed. You don't have to be the fastest. You have to have good timing, to be honest. And you have to have a solution.
What's next for you, man? I know you're still in shape, boss. What's up, bro? Good to see you, big man. How you doing? Good to see you, big man. Good to see you, brother. How you been, man?
Good, man.
Good to see you, sir. Man, I was bummed we didn't get to see you fight.
We got some big stuff coming up.
Yeah, you're gonna stay still in shape, right?
I gotta stay in shape. I gotta stay right. Gotta stay mentally focused. And the big fight's coming. So
I was gonna say, man,
I still gonna get the Australian guys. So. You know what I mean? I know, man. It wasn't up to me. You know what I mean?
Of course.
So shout out to
So if it is up to you, when would you be in again next?
I'll be in there soon. They'll tell you. They're gonna release it.
It's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Be good.
I'm ready, baby.
Good to see you, boss.
What did you think? Did you like what Teo showed, what Rolly showed?
Yeah, it was a good fight. It was a great fight. I thought it was super duper close. Unfortunately, you know.
Do you agree with the decision?
Do I agree?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I have to now.
Who do you want to see Teo fight next?
Here is how the pros reacted after the showdown between Rolando Romero and Teofimo Lopez. Discussing his relationship with the sport, Romero admitted he was chasing something like the dopamine rush that comes from walking out for major fights. Comparing it to how Errol Spence described feeling godlike while stepping into a packed arena, he said once he eventually left boxing, he wanted to walk away completely and never return to chasing that feeling again.
Walking out?
No. That's all. I felt like that's what Spence wanted to feel. No.
Those Pacquiao fights that you fought, you can't replace those dopamine, no?
Nope, you cannot, man. And that was one of the things that I said about Spence. When he was walking out and he was looking up at the crowd like this, man, like, You feel like a god when you walk out that damn arena, bro. You do. You know, you can't replace that. Yeah, I get it. I understand it.
And for what I want to do in my life, I want to be in boxing still.
So in other words, you get the dopamine rush you get from walking out for a big fight. You're like a fiend for that. You're hooked on that, and while you can still do it, you want to do that. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the day I leave boxing, I don't want to ever come back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is there a difference?
I never want to come back. The day I leave boxing, I want to make sure that I never want to have that feeling again. I never need that feeling.
Asked directly how he planned to beat Lopez, Romero turned the question back to the panel, prompting Tim Bradley to argue that the clearest path was taking the fight to him and making it physically rough. Bradley pointed to how much punishment Lopez absorbed against George Kambosos Jr. as evidence that he could be hurt, pressured, and forced into uncomfortable exchanges.
Teofimo Lopez.
How do you beat Teofimo Lopez?
Well, I mean,
take it to him.
The guy who's beaten him so far has established superior position and outboxed him. How do you plan on beating Teofimo?
The guy, there's been two guys that beat Teofimo.
George Kambosos.
Yeah, that's right. Kambosos did, however, Teofimo's health was compromised going into the fight. Yeah.
One was November 27th, 2021. The other one was January 31st, 2026.
Yeah. And by the way, Kambosos gets mad whenever I say that for good reason. Everyone has an excuse going into a fight. Kambosos won the fight. Let me just be clear. That's true. He
fought excellent in that fight.
He fought an excellent fight against Teofimo.
It seemed like a bad game plan, I feel like.
Bro, speaking of dope.
But how do you beat him? How do you beat him?
I'm asking you guys how to beat him.
Not up for us to beat him. But Rolly, speaking of dopamine, you know,
Tim, what would you do to beat him?
What would I do to beat him? I'll take it to him. That's what I do to him. I would take it to Tio. I mean, did you see the Claggett fight? You see all them punches he took?
Trying to forget that fight.
Yeah, you saw that fight. You saw all the punches he took. Claggett was able to pin him on the ropes. Go to him.
Yeah, I would say that given your style and what I've seen of you so far in your pro career, I would agree with Tim. Given what you bring to the ring, you got to make it a rough fight because what you hit, you can hurt. And if you can hit him, you can hurt him.
As Lopez described their bond, Romero kept the banter going when asked about his own connection to Teofimo. Despite the friendship and constant back and forth between them, Romero made it clear he has no interest in taking the rivalry beyond the ring. Still, as fight week approaches, the jokes have started carrying a much more serious edge.
Yeah. No, not anybody.
That's true.
No,
you gotta think about it. You gotta really think about it when it's like family, when they fight, right? Or brothers and sisters. If you got siblings, you fight.
Yeah.
And then you guys just, hug it out afterwards.
I can do that. I've done that.
So,
and sometimes.
Meanwhile, Teofimo Lopez Sr. entered the move to the welterweight division with an ambitious vision. According to his father, the transition was expected to bring out an even faster and more effective version of the former champion. Teofimo Lopez Sr. believed the additional weight would allow his son to perform at an even higher level, with his sights set on becoming undisputed across the heavier divisions.
Be a better, faster fighter. I think that my son, I said this 5 years ago, once he goes through the weight divisions, I think at 147, 154, and 160, that's when he's going to do the best. I said this because I really understood the kind of fighter that he was at the age of 13, 14. He was beating up these guys that were fighting for world titles at, that small age, and these guys were like 20 pounds bigger than him. He could take a punch at this weight division. My son's never been rocked in none of his fights or wobbled, and I think that he's ready to take the 147 weight division. It's going to be fast. I mean, I think he should be able to do everything in less than 2 years, become undisputed. We have a great contract with the Zone directly with them. So I see him doing an amazing thing right now, especially, all of these fighters are going to be slower than him, and he's a really smart fighter in there, and people are going to see a lot of entertainment.
While the two fighters had a shared history in sparring, Lopez Sr. did not believe those old sessions could serve as a blueprint for what would happen in the ring. In his view, both fighters had developed significantly since then, and Teofimo was entering this stage of his career with a completely different mindset.
That he felt your son got the better of him in sparring, right? Does that mean anything in a real fight?
To me, it don't mean anything because, that was a long time ago. Every fighter has gotten better or gotten worse. So the only way we're going to find out is August 22nd, be at the T-Mobile Arena, and you're going to see something amazing. He's been looking really good in sparring, and I think he's ready.
More importantly, Lopez Sr. believed fans were going to see new dimensions from his son at 147 pounds. He teased additional tricks and emphasized Teofimo's speed, suggesting that his physical advantages could become even more noticeable against naturally bigger opponents.
Kind of going forward in the new weight class, like what do you think is going to be different for him that people aren't going to recognize?
I think he's going to be able to do more tricks in there because of the fighters the caliber of the fighters we're going to fight are going to be so much slower. I mean, my son is the type of fighter when he's focused, he does all his things and he doesn't hardly get hit. Let's see what happens, but I think that he's ready to take over.
Constantly defending you from the guy to my left.
Yeah.
And look, I think you're genuinely an underrated fighter. You're a big puncher. I was saying that when I was ringside on the apron for your fight against Anthony Yiggett, I knew you could crack. I could feel those punches at ringside. That was at 135. Now at 147, you're still a legitimate puncher.
Yeah.
And
I literally could not even make that weight no more.
No, I don't know how you made it.
I was begging to move it to 40. I still don't know either.
But look, you win here on August 22nd, and you're gonna have back-to-back wins over Ryan Garcia and Teofimo Lopez. What would that say about Rolly Romero on the World?
Turning to predictions, Max Kellerman noted that Lopez tended to perform at his best when he genuinely felt threatened by an opponent. Kellerman framed the central question as whether Teofimo actually viewed Romero as a serious danger, stating that if he did, fans could expect Lopez to arrive fully focused and deliver one of his best performances.
Dangerous he thinks Rolly is.
And it wasn't just a tough loss. It was he got beat up pretty bad. He had cuts over his face, so it wasn't just a simple loss.
Yeah, I think when Teo feels that the guy in front of him is a threat, he fights his best.
For sure.
And it just Shakur's going to do that to everyone, right? Like, it's just, Teo's one of the guys on the list. But the question really for me is, does Teo look at Rolly as a threat? If he does, then I expect to see the best version of Teo.
Schofield picked Lopez to outbox Romero, predicting that a focused Teofimo would use his speed, movement, and combination punching to eventually take control after a competitive start. Still, Schofield warned that Romero's power made him dangerous at any moment, as one clean shot could change the entire fight regardless of how it was unfolding on the scorecards.
I got Teo outboxing. I think Rolly is just going to be too flat-footed, and Teo is going to be all over the ring. I think it's going to be a better Teo than the Shakur fight. So.
You think it's going to be a better Teo than the Shakur fight?
Oh yeah.
Tell me, do you see this being a competitive fight?
Competitive for the first beginning, but then I think Teo is gonna, get off in the end, start landing his flurries, his combinations. Just hopefully if Rolly don't connect, because if Rolly connect, that might change the whole fight. So, and Rolly got that judo, so if Teo tries to, Teo tries to hold, Rolly might capitalize on that too, so.
I like it. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, Rolly's been looking good lately. And a lot of people, what they say about Teo, he shows up sometimes, he shows up whenever he feels like it. But in this specific time, it seemed like it's more of a focused Teo. I don't know.
Sean Porter expected a highly tactical fight, predicting both men would enter with disciplined game plans. He noted that Romero's patient approach against Ryan Garcia would likely carry over into the bout, while adding that Lopez had also become a more calculated fighter. That meant both sides could make adjustments that caught fans off guard because of how unpredictable the tactical battle could become.
His overall skill set and all that, and save for the Ryan Garcia fight, that's the only time Rolly looked good in the last several fights. But I'm not picking somebody yet. You know, let us sink our teeth into it, get closer to the fight. But my first thought when this fight was presented and might get done was, I think Rolly is the more natural welterweight. I think he's the bigger guy.
Josiah Kirkpatrick picked Romero to pull off the upset, arguing that Lopez's move up to 147 pounds could prove to be a major liability, leaving him looking physically smaller against a naturally bigger Romero. For Kirkpatrick, that size difference alone made Romero a serious threat heading into fight night.
I ain't gonna lie. I think I got Rolly for the upset.
Oh, you picked Rolly.
I got Rolly
Okay.
for the upset.
Tio's a 2.5-1 to favorite to win the fight. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And you've been in the ring with Tio, so you know him more than that. Have you sparred Rolly?
Nah, I never sparred Rolly.
Okay.
Nah.
Is it because of the performance that he had with Shakur? Is that why, you know?
Nah, it's not with that. It's just more as if he's not a 147 fighter.
Oh, okay, moving up.
He's not a 147 fighter. He gonna go into that ring. He's gonna look completely small.
Tim Bradley shared that same concern, questioning whether Lopez's punching power would carry effectively up to welterweight. While Romero's natural strength and heavy hands gave him a genuine physical edge, Bradley stated that the difference in strength alone could make the fight extremely difficult for Teofimo to manage.
Teofimo Lopez ain't got no power. 140 ain't knocked nobody out. He going to 47, jumping up 7 pounds. I've done it. It's different. Rolly thumping. It's different. Rolly is thumping. He can punch. He been at 47 for some time now. It's a different feeling when you get hit with them bricks. And Rolly got that freaky strength. That freaky, special freaky strength. You know.
Trainer Stephen Brennan Edwards called the fight genuinely difficult to predict given Lopez's move up in weight, acknowledging Romero's heavy hands as a major factor while also crediting Lopez's speed and athleticism as clear advantages in other areas. He called the contrast in styles a major reason the matchup was so intriguing.
Damn, has Rolly fought since he beat Ryan?
No.
Damn. Well, he's due. That's a good fight. I don't even know who I would pick because I don't know how Teofimo going to look at 147, but it's a good fight.
You know what? Funny you say that. His frame is starting to look small to me. Teal's frame. Moving up to 47 is going to be 7 pounds. That's going to be interesting in that fight because heavy-handed Rolly with Silas has been looking good, but the speed and athletic ability of Teofimo Lopez makes it so interesting.
Gary Russell Jr. declined to pick a winner outright, instead predicting the fight would be entertaining from start to finish because of the contrasting styles and personalities involved. He expected fans to get real action from the opening bell, regardless of who ultimately won.
I think it's a good. Honestly, I think it's gonna be an exciting fucking fight.
You don't gotta pick a winner. Don't pick a winner.
Hey, look. It's gonna be a great night of boxing. It's gonna be a great night of boxing. I think stylistically, it's gonna be perfect for everybody. It's gonna be entertaining as hell. He already entertaining as hell, even when he's not in the ring. You know, he's also entertaining when he's in the ring. I think it's gonna be a great fight.
On the Showbiz the Adult podcast, the host broke down Romero's specific path to victory, explaining how his pressure, power, and physical strength could create serious problems for Lopez at 147 pounds. According to the breakdown, if Romero could force the fight into his preferred range, he had a legitimate opportunity to pull off the win.
Fight. The only thing that scares me on Rolly's side is that Rolly, financially, is secretly well off because of, I told you, his brain, the investments he's made. So that's my thing. When you start really being more than financially secure, does that take away from your animal a little bit? Now, here's my thing. With Silas as his coach, bro, and plus he has a deceptive way about his being where he has a high IQ, but he acts like he doesn't, the fight may be strange. Let me do it like this. Rolly said not only how to beat Tio, he told me, he said what he was going to do. There's going to be some surprises. Because what he told me,
That same possibility was why AOE viewed it as a genuine 50-50 fight. AOE gave Lopez the edge in skill and boxing IQ, but questioned whether that power would translate effectively at the new weight while crediting Romero's natural strength, punching power, and judo background as giving him a serious physical advantage.
On paper right now, for sure, for both guys. That's a true 50-50 fight.
Broly, to my knowledge, one fight at 147 pounds, defeated Ryan. I think this would be Teo's first fight. Both started at 35. Teo's clearly the more skillful guy. Clearly higher IQ, but hasn't shown the punching power since 35. Broly's been dangerous, 35, 40, 47.
Broly got like what Crawford got. A lot of guys don't pay attention to the differences in core strength, grip strength, and so on. Like guys who wrestle, guys like Broly used to do judo. You know what I'm saying? Like guys who wrestle and guys who do jiu-jitsu, stuff like that, they grip strength.
That tactical mindset was set to be tested as Teofimo Lopez opened a new chapter at welterweight, and Keith Thurman was curious to see how he would adapt. Thurman spoke highly of Lopez's skill, talent, and knack for self-promotion, adding that meeting him in person had left a lasting impression. Heading into the move up to 147, Thurman saw the fight as a genuine test of how well Lopez would handle the bigger weight class.
When I got to meet Timo in person, I like Timo. I like somebody who can promote. I like somebody who can promote crazy like your man one time sometimes, you know what I'm saying? So I like Timo. Like his skills, his talent. And we got to meet in the back of the MGM Grand. This was Barrios, Pac-Man in Vegas. What's that? Last summer?
Yeah, I
was
think
that
so.
a year ago?
Yeah, about a year ago, yeah.
So last summer, finally face to face with the T-Man himself. And he was showing me love, man. I was kind of surprised. He was showing me love. And they said, oh, man, we're going to see you boys in the ring, this and that. So he just stepped into 147. Let him get some fights in, Don't throw him in with...
So that's all we have from today's video, and we hope you enjoyed it. Share your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure to subscribe to our channel for more amazing boxing content.